To most Indians, food without spices is tasteless. But to me as an African, it's a side mission fighting to my spices. So why do Indians like food that to me as an African would give me countless trips to the washroom? I'm going to show you a very simple food that I made in this video, but let's get back to that later. But let's speak first about why do Indians love spices. While eating an average Indian food, I will be sweating so bad. And for Indians, it will be just a normal day. And you start understanding that when you realize that from the Kashmiri's best food, the Malayalis' normal food, pepper or chili, I don't know the difference, and other spices are just a very common thing. But here are 3 reasons why they are so much into spices. Number 1, they do have a very rich history of trading spices. And my first times when I knew about India, I knew India as the land of spices from the history that I learned in high school. The second thing is the Ayurvedic medicine. And that means that they know a lot of plants and stuff which have to be added to food to work as medicine. And somehow, most spices which are famous here in India are also medicine, literally. For example, in my country, the turmeric is known as an actual medicine. In India, it's just a normal thing which can be added in food, but understanding that it has medical values. Another thing is just they have a large variety of spices, and that means they have to be used. We can't have hundreds of different spices and use only 2. At least I grew up eating basic stuff. For example, the meal that I'm about to make now, I'm going to make it the simplest possible I can ever make it. And that means using only onions and tomatoes. And the basic thing, I just cut the tomatoes and cut the onions, make a mix of it, a dish with it, and I'm going to eat it along with fufu, which is a very common dish in sub-Saharan Africa. While that's actually how I grew up eating food, which is basically very simple. Chili, not really that much, and that's only for adults. Children in African houses don't mostly take chili, at least in Congo. And we used to have a very chicken or spicy, which we used to add, not so much also back then in Congo, which used to be called onga. But today, a lot of masala spices are now so famous now in so many African countries. I realized that in Kenya, the same in Congo too, a lot of masala are getting so famous. So you can just see that it's not so common for Africans to just take too much spices, that when you reach India, you somehow have to get used to taking food with a lot of chili. And I understand that it's just normal. This is fufu, and here is the chicken curry that I made. No other spicy than just tomato and onions and some black pepper and chicken masala. And let me try how is it. Let me wash my hands first. That is surprisingly so good than how I even expected it to be. I think I should stop the video and start eating first. That's so good. That's so good. Thanks so much for being here. Catch you next time.